Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're uncorking a story of transformation. For the longest time, English wine, well, it felt like a bit of a novelty, didn't it? A quaint curiosity.
Right. Polite skepticism was definitely the mood.
But if you haven't been watching the global wine scene lately, you need to know. English sparkling wine isn't just emerging anymore. It's absolutely arrived.
That's the key shift, exactly. We're past the novelty stage now. We're looking at a really professional, vibrant industry, a serious global challenger, especially for sparkling.
So for this deep dive, we dug into your sources to figure out just how this happened.
Yeah, we wanted to unpack that unique mix, the climate, the ancient geology, and some really smart strategic moves that put the south of England on the world wine map.
And the big question we're tackling is, how did a country known more for rain than ripening grapes start making wines that genuinely rival and sometimes beat champagne?
Well, the answer is quite literally underfoot. It starts with the soil.
The core secret, the English terroir.
Exactly. We have to start there. And terroir isn't just some fancy French term, is it? It's that specific blend of geography, soil, climate, everything that makes a place unique for growing grapes.
And for Southeast England, that combination turned out to be, well, incredibly fortunate.
Spot on, especially when you consider the climate factor.
Which is fascinating because the climate used to be the biggest hurdle, right? Too cool, too damp.
Precisely. But climate change, ironically, has become a huge ally. Those rising average temperatures over the last, say, 30 years, they've created almost perfect conditions.
Perfect how? What do rising temperatures do specifically for sparkling wine grapes?
They allow for slow, gradual ripening. See, in really hot places, grapes ripen super fast, sugar shoots up, but acidity plummets.
And you need that acidity.
You absolutely need high, crisp acidity for top-quality sparkling wine. It's the backbone. The cooler English climate draws out that ripening process.
So the acidity stays high.
Exactly. It preserves that natural freshness. Plus, that long, slow ripening gives the grapes time to develop really complex, delicate aromas. Think finesse, elegance.
Okay, so climate helps, but you said the real secret is underground.
Ah, yes. The subterranean secret. This is the game changer. The main wine regions, Kent, Sussex, Hampshire, they sit on these huge, deep layers of Cretaceous chalk.
Chalk, like limestone.
Pure limestone, basically. And here's the kicker. It's the exact same geological formation that you find in the Champagne region of France.
Wow, the same formation. That's pretty amazing.
It really is. That shared geology is key to understanding the quality potential.
So what does the chalk actually do for the vines, for the grapes?
Two crucial things. First, drainage. Chalk is fantastic at draining excess water away. Think of it like a giant natural filter. In a relatively damp climate like England's, that's vital. Roots don't like being waterlogged.
Makes sense. And the second thing, you mentioned chemistry.
Yes, the chemistry of the grape juice, the must. The chalk influences it directly. Grapes grown on chalk tend to have higher levels of tartaric acid.
Tartaric acid. Right.
And critically, a lower must pH. Basically, lower pH means a sharper, cleaner acid structure in the final wine.
And that structure is important because
It gives the wine its freshness, its inner rising, but it also helps it age beautifully. That structure allows English sparkling wine, or ESW, to develop those complex, nutty, biscuity notes over time, just like great champagne. It provides longevity.
so you've got the climate doing its thing, the chalk underneath. Anything else in the terroir mix?
Definitely. You can't forget the coastal influence, proximity to the English Channel and the Atlantic.
The sea breeze effect.
Sort of, but more about temperature regulation. That maritime influence acts like a buffer. It smooths out the extremes.
Oh, so.
It helps reduce the risk of those damaging late spring frosts, which can just wipe out the buds. And it also moderates the summer heat waves, preventing the grapes from ripening too quickly and losing that precious acidity. It's a natural thermostat, really.
Okay, that paints a clear picture of the natural advantages. Let's shift to the human side. The history. Viticulture isn't brand new in England, is it?
Not at all. It goes back to Roman times, believe it or not. But the modern story, the revolution, that really kicked off in the late 1980s. And it involved a very specific strategic choice.
Which was?
To focus almost exclusively on traditional methods sparkling wine.
The same method used in champagne. Second fermentation in the bottle, all that complexity.
Exactly that. The early pioneers were smart. They realized their cool climate grapes with that high natural acidity were perfect for this style. Instead of trying to compete making, say, big, bold, still reds, which the climate wasn't quite ready for then, They aimed for the top end of the sparkling market.
A focused strategy, and that meant focusing on specific grapes too, right? The classic champagne trio.
Precisely. They planted the fundamental varieties: Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Pinot Meunier.
Let's break those down. Chardonnay's role.
Chardonnay provides the structure, the backbone, body, power, and really crucial, the potential to age well. When ESW is aged, Surly sitting on the yeast leads.
Right, that adds flavor.
It really does. That's where Chardonnay develops those lovely, toasty, brioche, nutty notes that people adore in aged sparkling wines.
And the Pinot. Pinot Noir and Pinot Meunier.
Pinot Noir brings the finesse. Delicate red fruit notes, think strawberry, maybe some cherry. It's essential for making elegant rosés and Blanc de Noir, which are sparklings made just from the black grapes.
Blanc de Noir. White from black.
Exactly. And here's another sign of how things have changed. In the warmer years we're getting now, England is actually producing some really quite elegant, light-bodied, still red wines from Pinot Noir. That would have been almost unthinkable 30 years ago.
Wow. And Pinot Meunier, the third one.
Meunier is often the friendly partner in the blend. It adds body, approachability, maybe some upfront fruitiness, rounds things out.
So that covers the sparkling side. But English wine isn't only about fizz, is it? There's a still white that keeps getting mentioned.
Ah, yes. You have to talk about Bacchus. It's kind of the quiet hero of English still wines.
Bacchus, okay, what is it?
It's actually a crossing. Miller-Thurgau, Sylvaner, and Riesling in its parentage.
Ew.
And it produces a really distinctive aromatic white wine.
Aromatic how? What should you look for if you taste it?
Think elderflower. That's the classic note, really pronounced. Then maybe some juicy pear, crisp green apple, and often a distinct sort of flinty mineral edge, especially if it's grown on chalky soils.
Elderflower, very English garden.
Exactly. That's why people sometimes call it the Sauvignon Blanc of England, has that aromatic intensity and freshness.
Interesting. Any other still grapes making waves?
Ortega is worth mentioning, particularly down in places like Cornwall.
Cornwall, way down west.
Yeah, the climate there is even milder, more maritime. Ortega seems to thrive, developing a bit more body, kind of velvety texture sometimes. You get stoned fruit notes, maybe a hint of spice. Makes for a great food wine.
Okay, so if someone's planning an English wine trip, some Innu tourism, where should they focus? Let's talk regions. Sussex seems to come up a lot, the capital of British sparkling wine.
Sussex really is the powerhouse, especially for sparkling. And the key, it's geology again. The South Downs, those beautiful rolling hills.
Yeah.
They are a direct geological continuation of the Chalk Ridge in Champagne. It's the same bedrock.
No kidding. So the quality markers there.
You find wines with really intense citrusy acidity, fine, persistent bubbles that finesse Debola, and just incredible aging potential. These are serious, long-lasting wines.
And then they're aiming for official recognition, too.
They are. Big news. The region is actively pursuing PDO status-protected designation of origin for Sussex wine. That's a huge step, putting it on par legally with established European regions. Guarantees quality and origin.
So must-visit spots in Sussex. Your sources mentioned a few pioneers.
Absolutely. Ridgeview Estate is a key one. Real pioneers, globally recognized, really helped establish the quality reputation using the traditional method.
And Nyetimber, that name sounds familiar.
Nyetimber is almost synonymous with luxury English sparkling. They've got a long track record of, well, stunning judges and blind tastings, often outperforming very famous champagne houses.
Quite the reputation.
Then for a full immersion, there's Rathfinney Estate.
Yeah.
High-quality ESW, of course. But they also have luxury accommodation right on the vineyard, the Flint Barns. Stay amongst the vines.
Sounds idyllic. Okay, let's head east a bit to Kent, the Garden of England. How does its wine scene differ from Sussex?
Kent's terroir is a bit more varied, actually. It's more of a mosaic. You definitely have the chalk influence from the North Downs, which gives minerality and acidity. But you also have significant areas of Wealden clay. Clay soils are richer, they hold water better.
So the wines might taste different?
Potentially, yes. While still having that high acidity, Kent wines might sometimes show a slightly broader character, maybe a bit more upfront fruit, compared to the really laser-focused chalk wines of the South Downs. Still fantastic quality, just a different expression sometimes.
And key places to visit in Kent.
Chapel Down's the big one of the largest producers, very well known. They have excellent visitor facilities, comprehensive tours, and a highly regarded restaurant, the Swan, right there. Great for food pairings.
Nice. Other tent highlights.
Gusburn is another top name, more boutique maybe.
Yeah.
Focused on single vineyard expressions, wines known for their complexity and elegance. Definitely one for the connoisseur.
Okay.
And then there's Hush Heath Estate, They make Balfour wines.
Mm.
They're particularly known for offering gorgeous gourmet picnics you can have out amongst the vineyards and their apple orchards, often paired with their Balfour Brut Rosé, which is lovely.
A picnic among the vines.
Huh?
That sounds perfect. Which brings us to food. Touring vineyards works up an appetite. Let's talk pairings. What's the synergy like between English wines and British food?
Oh, it's fantastic. Especially with ESW. Remember that vibrant acidity we talked about?
Yeah, the backbone.
Well, that acidity and the elegance of the wine just cut beautifully through richness and oiliness. They classic British comfort food. The bubbles act like a perfect palate cleanser.
So we're not just talking canopies here. We mean proper food.
Right.
Fish and chips, pies.
Absolutely. A good ESW with perfectly fried fish and chips is sublime. Or with a rich, savory pie, it elevates the whole thing, turns rustic into something quite elegant.
Specific examples.
Okay, try an ESW Blanc de Blanc that's 100% Chardonnay with some wit-stable oysters. The wine's minerality just sings with the oyster's brininess.
Classic.
Or pair a more structured, maybe slightly older ESW with a good mature cheddar cheese. The wine cuts through the fat, refreshes your palate. It's a brilliant match.
Okay, what about the still wines? Bacchus pairings.
Bacchus, with its green, herbaceous notes and minerality, is just perfect with things like whitefish, spring salads, English asparagus.
Aperitus, right.
But it's surprisingly versatile. That herbal elderflower character makes it a great bridge to lighter Asian flavors, too. Think Thai green curry, Vietnamese salads with lemongrass and coriander. It works really well.
Interesting. So beyond tasting and eating, what other experiences should visitors look out for?
Well, keep an eye out for producers operating as grower-producers. That's like the Ricolta manipulant status in Champagne.
Meaning they grow their own grapes and make the wine.
Exactly, all on the same estate. Visiting those places often gives you a much stronger sense of the specific terroir, a real connection to the land and the wine. Many of the top English producers actually fit this model.
Good tip. Anything for the real wine geeks.
Definitely. Some places offer masterclasses. Haddingly Valley over in Hampshire, for instance, does deep dives into the technical side of making ESW. Very informative.
Hampshire. Another key region, then.
Yes, don't forget Hampshire. It's actually home to the oldest modern commercial vineyard, Hamilton, which was planted back in the 1950s. And you find great producers there, too.
And Cornwall, we mentioned, for Ortega.
Right. Camel Valley in Cornwall is another hidden gem, maybe, known for both still and sparkling wines, benefiting from that milder maritime climate down there.
Okay, lots to explore. Before we finish, let's cover some practicalities. Essential travel tips for listeners planning a trip.
Sure. Best time to visit? Well, harvest time, the Vindima, in September, maybe early October, is really exciting, buzzing atmosphere. Otherwise, the peak summer months, July and August, offer the best chance of warm weather for strolling through vineyards.
But book ahead.
Oh, absolutely. Tours, tastings, accommodate, especially at the popular places, you really need to book in advance. Demand is high.
How about getting around?
A car gives you the most flexibility, honestly. Vineyards can be quite spread out, but it's not impossible by train. Lines like Southeastern serve Kent and Sussex pretty well. You can often get a taxi from the station to nearby estates.
And places to stay.
Big range. Everything from charming village B&Bs and pubs with rooms, right up to dedicated vineyard hotels like Raththeny's Flint Barns for that luxury experience.
Good to know. And quickly, let's recap a couple of key terms someone might hear on a tour. ESW.
Simple. English sparkling wine. Specifically, made using the traditional method.
Liqueur de tirage.
That's the little mixture of yeast and sugar added to the base wine inside the bottle.
Yeah.
Kicks off the second fermentation when it creates the bubbles.
Got it. And dosage.
Yes, the final touch. A small amount of liquid, usually wine and sugar, added just before the final cork goes in. It balances the acidity and determines the final sweetness level, like Brut, which is dry, or demi-sec, which is sweeter. Brut is the most common for ESW.
Perfect. So we've talked chalk, climate, strategy, bringing it all together. What's the final thought you want to leave our listeners with?
Well, think about it. You've got this rapidly improving quality, consistently winning awards. You've got the direct geological link to Champagne. You've got regions like Sussex pushing for formal PDO status.
Yeah.
So the question to ponder is, how might this rise of English wine permanently change the way we think about the world's great sparkling wine regions? Is the old hierarchy shifting? This feels like much more than just a passing trend. It really feels like a new, important chapter being written on the global wine map.